Hi guys, what's going on, and welcome back to another episode of Total War Arena. So, bit of a different video type today. We are going to be getting our maths heads on and taking a bit of a look at vengeance stats, basically. Just to kind of explain a bit more how it works, and why that the information that it gives you is quite significantly different from how it actually functions. And how, probably for a lot of newer players, it's not very clear, and hopefully this might clarify that a little bit. So, let's get stuck into this. This is going to be no easy way of explaining this, so I shall do my best. So, in essence, these are the Tier 5 Roman Principes. Just a heavy infantry, or actually a medium infantry unit, at Tier 5, and I'm running them with Germanicus. So at Tier 5, it's the first time you unlock Vengeance. And if you read the description, it says greatly increases the unit's aggression, which it does because it gives 50% melee attack, which is the chance to land a hit, and 50% melee weapon damage, which is what we're going to be looking at in detail today. So the melee weapon damage is the amount of damage you do to an enemy unit when you land a hit. So, a few things to say at the start are, Vengeance takes a little bit of time to charge up. When you press it, you don't immediately get that 50% increase in melee weapon damage. It actually takes a little bit of time to build up. But once, I don't know the exact time length, but 10, 20 seconds, something like that, you'll then be fully charged and doing that full 50% increase. So, is how melee weapon damage and then conversely body armor and shield armor work is it's a one-to-one relationship. So, for this unit, if in this unit of Principes you were fighting an equivalent unit of Principes, these guys are fully upgraded, so we've got all the equipment options including the helmets, then we do a base 195 melee weapon damage. For this example, I'm not taking into account the increased damage you get with the various swords because when you activate abilities like Vengeance, that 50% increase is just on the base value, not on the upgraded value. So, we're dealing with 195. So that would mean every time you land a hit on the enemy, you're doing 195 damage minus their body armor and shield armor values, which in this case works out a combined total defense of 167, because that's the body armor with upgrades. I am factoring upgrades for body armor, and the shield armor with upgrades. Now, another factor to consideration is that body armor is never 100% successful. It ranges between 90 to 100% block chance. So sometimes it will block at the maximum, 100% at 167, and at the lowest it will only block 150, because that will be 90% of its value. So the range is 150 to 167. But our melee weapon damage is 195, so that exceeds the body armor. So that means we're going to be landing, on average, if we're not taking into penetration, we're going to be landing an average hit of 28 to 45 damage. Without any abilities activated, with nothing that's increasing our defense, without using strikes, just on plain basic hits. However, if we then were to factor in Vengeance, as many people would consider, you would think that that 50% increase in melee weapon damage would take that 28 to 45 and add 50% onto that. To take it up to sort of what that would be like 40 to 60, something like that, which would be about a 50% increase. However, that's not the case, and this is why Vengeance is so devastating. That is a 50% melee weapon damage increase on your base 195 damage. So that means that your potential damage goes up so much. Once it's fully charged, it goes from 195 to pretty much 295. The rough 50% increase, something like that. So all of a sudden, you're hitting way over the enemy's body armor and shield armor value. So a fully charged Vengeance against an equivalent unit like this with the sort of 150 to 167 body armor and shield armor values, you're going to be landing hits of 128 to 145. So that's not a 50% increase in weapon damage, that's almost a 320% increase in weapon damage. And that's kind of why these tooltips are a little bit misleading and why it's so bad to fight against Vengeance if you haven't got an ability like that activated, or you've not got some clever plan of what you're going to be how you're going to be dealing with it. And that's why Vengeance does so much damage, because it's not 50%, it's far, far more than that. In this case, 300%, or over 300%. And in summary, that's why Vengeance is such a devastating ability to come up against, and why it's just so powerful. Of course, it has recently undergone a little bit of a nerf in the last patch, but that starts to take effect at higher tiers, I believe, and just sort of caps out, because it used to go up to about 120% melee weapon damage, which then in turn equates to you know, 400, 500, 600% increase in weapon damage. So yeah, it got pretty crazy. So it's certainly been toned down a little bit now. But yeah, that's pretty much how Vengeance works. Hopefully that's a clearish explanation of what it's all about. Hopefully, if my editing skills have allowed, I should have put that information throughout the video just so you can see it written down as well. And yeah, let me know what you think in the comments down below. Subscribe to the channel for lots more Total War Arena content, and I shall see you all on the next video. Thanks, guys.